Welcome back to the daily Living Jewish Kitzur Shulchan Aruch class. We are in section of the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. So that is, we're going through all the different brachas of blessings. We had about 15 chapters and we are in the second to the last. And we spoke about seeing a fruit tree when it begins to blossom and the bracha for that. The brachas for thunder, lightning and other special occurrences from Hashem. A rainbow, a bracha that we say when we see the ocean, exceptionally tall mountains, the equinox, which a person only sees a few times in a lifetime. The last time was, I think we figured out it was in 2009. And then going to the place of a miracle. If a person personally experienced a miracle and they're back in the very same place, supernatural miracle, a person could make a bracha, thank you Hashem for making me a miracle in this place. The same would go for his children and grandchildren. Although we did say that practically speaking, we do like to err on the side of caution, and we most likely would say the bracha without Hashem's name. We would just say, Baruch she'asa li neis b'makom hazeh. Blessed are you Hashem, or we wouldn't say Hashem's name. We'd say, blessed Hashem for making me a miracle in this place. We spoke about if you see a Torah giant or an exceptionally wise person. And then today we come to the king. We're in the wrong, here we go. So when you see a king of any of the nations of the world, there's a special bracha to be said for that. And that is Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech ha'olam. Blessed are you, Hashem, our God, King of the world, who gave from his glory to blood and flesh. So we're saying that a king is glorious, and ultimately whatever glory the king has been bestowed upon him from Hashem. So the question is, who qualifies for a king in the 21st century? So some say it needs to be somebody that's powerful enough that he's able to give a verdict and to execute in court. However, kings, presidents, prime ministers nowadays, most of them don't have such authority. Rather, they could maybe forgive somebody or encourage forgiveness. So most authorities say that when you see them, you still can't say the bracha. Okay, so there are different opinions about it. I remember when I was learning in 770, we received information that the President of the United States was coming down the street. And as we'll see in a moment, there actually is an idea to actually go out and see the great influential leader so that you have the opportunity to make the bracha. But they need to be at least in their full entourage with all of their beauty. If you're not sure whether you can make a bracha or you can't make a bracha, then we'll follow the general rule of thumb, which is make the bracha but without actually saying Hashem's name. So you just say Baruch shenasan b'kvayda lebas v'dam. Blessed is Hashem who gives from his glory to kings of blood and flesh. Even if you don't see the king himself, but you witness the spectacular, I'm not sure how to say that word in English, but in Hebrew it would be v'chvayda. You see his honor, and you are certain of the king's presence, you may recite the bracha. So if you see the president's coming through with the whole entourage and his windows are tinted or they're not tinted, but you can't actually see him, but you know he's in that car, that middle car is him, he's the president of the United States. I don't know if the same would go for our president, if there would be that same honor, but I'd like to think yes. But
the Queen of Swaziland.
King of Swaziland, did you say? That's the king, yeah? So even if you don't actually see him, but you see him with his full entourage, then you may very well be able to make a bracha with Hashem's name. A blind person should say the bracha bidding Hashem's name. So again, it's doubtful whether he can or can't because he can't actually see it. On the other hand, he can sense it. And it's a mitzvah to make an effort to behold the glory of kings. In Shulchan Aruch, often when it says it is a mitzvah, it doesn't mean it's one of the 630 mitzvahs. Rather, it means that this is something that we encourage you to do, which is the way the word mitzvah is often used in today in the way people communicate. What a great mitzvah. It doesn't necessarily need to mean that it's one of the 613, but it means what a wonderful thing that it is that is being done. Once you've seen it once, then you don't need to stop your Torah study to see him again. So that's what happened. We were learning in the central yeshiva in 770, and somebody came around and said the president's driving down, and we actually stopped our learning to go out because that's what the Shulchan Aruch says. But once you've seen him once, then you don't need to go out again unless he is going to appear with a greater military parade and more majestic display than before. Okay, I see that the sun is setting upon us. We've got very limited time these days, but we're still catching a few halachos a day.